Hello there. Yep. I've made a game. I've been working on it for a while for my project. And this is essentially all I've done. I've got fireball attacks, music, and a dungeon, a complete one at that. If we walk in, this is essentially it. Monsters everywhere and all that good stuff. Oh, yeah! Now, you wanna know what happens when you walk in a wrong door? I can show you what happens. You get sent back to the entrance, and it sucks. Congratulations, noob. Well, yeah, it's a... Oh, also if you get hit by a monster, your screen goes crazy. And, yeah, you reset. I did not add a health bar into the player actor yet, or like a magic meter. I plan on doing it later, so that way the game could be a little bit more, different. Well, those guys usually get me if I don't pay attention. Now this boss here, he's hard. He's probably the hardest thing I've ever created. There's a 1 in 1,000 chance that it'll spawn a skeleton. Oh, the undeads. Right now I'm actually doing pretty good against him. Get wrecked. Oh, there he is. He spawned one. Die. I died so many times by my own boss, it's kind of silly. Come on, die, boy. Die. Stop being... Oh, no! He got me! And... Wait. Will the music keep playing? I think this is another bug I've got. Alright, well... Yeah. Interesting, so I've got a bug here. That's weird. I'll have to fix that later. I bet it has something to do with the room when I leave it. Might just be the lich itself. So what's probably happening is I didn't program code to cancel the music out. I hate this thing. I don't even know why I made it so difficult to kill. Oh, here we go. You can charge a stream of attacks as well with this. You have to stand still, though. Darn it. He's always getting the best of me, It's not fair. Ugh. Oh yeah, if you do notice, all the patterns of the monsters walking around are the same, so the idea is you learn the patterns and you... Like, this lich here is a bit random with his attacks, but the patterns are the same. Wow, 1 in 1,000 chance right there. The best strategy is to actually stay behind it. You don't want to be in its direction where it's walking. I think that's how it has to be played. Okay, just walk around him. As long as I stay behind it, it should be fine. But then the skeleton mob might spawn where I'm at and I'll die. So it's not too good. Wow, this thing... Oh, I got destroyed. I think it might just be a lag that's causing the music to bug out like that, because Greenfoot's a bit annoying that way. Oh, holy. Yeah, I would rather use an actual, game developing thing. Oh, I can kill these guys. You can kill all of them. I'm actually gonna make temples where you do have to kill the enemies and stuff. Let's see, can I do this? Got him. Ah, no! Yeah, I know it's lag for sure. Greenfoot. Darn you, Greenfoot. Yeah, but this game, my first dungeon here isn't so easy. And of course, to enter the dungeon, I'm gonna only have the king's approval to do it. So yeah. So you have to pass a certain test in this castle once I get it going. And that'll allow you to continue to this dungeon. Because even for some reason I can't beat my own dungeon. That just means I've designed it so well as what it was. Yeah, I gotta do some more strategizing. Can't stay up here because then his attack might hit me from there. Yeah, see, like that. There's gotta be some way I could do this with these. That's right. Oh! Okay. I mean, for a boss battle, this is actually not bad. I hate it when he jitters over. Oh! I need to calm down. Come on. Get wrecked. Come on, just die already, please. Man, yes! Finally. I did it. Well, thank God. Wow, it took me that long just to beat the first boss? That was not bad. That was not bad. Plus, I know all the patterns, so it was kind of sad for me personally. I think some people that I'll show this game at my school, at the school I'm doing like some college program. That's all. All right. I think it'd be about time we hop into the code, because that'd be the fun part. Let me go ahead and just close that window. Alright. Well, it's blank, but once I get it going, there you go. So, let's go walk through the player's main code here, and it is a sight to see. So up here, I organized it because Java's great that way. So I put all the sound and GIF files up here, out of the way, for the most part, that is. And then for our first dungeon, I put the rooms and labeled the rooms like that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a better job at my labeling. Yeah. There we go, like that. Give it some nice bluage. So this is the first room of the temple. What I did, instead of actually holding all of the actors in its world, I have them all held into the player actor. What it's good for is, I have a theory that it might help with memory, because Greenfoot has a problem with heap space, and you can't do anything to really fix it, so optimizing the code was my first plan, and it seems to work because I've added so many actors on the side, and in my old program that I made, it had pretty much only like 1/8 the amount I have now. This is actually way more code than I've ever imagined, and this is only for 1/4 of the game right here. I plan to have 4 main dungeons and 1 mini game dungeon, which is gonna be pretty rad. Alright, so what these rooms do, I just said it loads in the actors. Right here, I define the actor by its name. So we do move 4, which is move 4 equals new move 4. This move 4 is the one that gets read as the object for the add object. So, yeah, it's just a way of helping Greenfoot understand what the move object is. And same with the golem right here. It makes it lowercase so it understands it. That's how I look at it, at least. And I did this for all the way here, and at the bottom we start having some monster classes, door classes for entering and exiting. Now the most vital code you saw was here, because we're using load triggers that I've designed, and they disappear once you are spawned in the room. And yeah, I've got some sound and whatnot. Yeah, this is basically the simple things to make a game. I guess we can look into the attack next, the projectile class. Right here, this essentially just does movement, and I made a private integer that I named duration, and I set its lifespan to 12, essentially with the number. And basically the duration code I use for the health bar, and in this case I've also used it for the amount of length an object can fly. So what you can do is you can make an invisible projectile class and then just set up a GIF of a sword swing, for example. And that invisible projectile would of course hit an enemy like as if it were your sword. And it gives a good illusion for that. So you can do that, which I probably plan on doing with other things like magic attacks and whatnot. Let's see, we gotta go to attack physics. Attack physics is just another, it helps the projectile get all of its numbers here. We've got, I'll try to explain it. At the top, it's just a private static final, and we set it to the walking speed of 5.0. That's like the speed essentially of the object. And we have a public void called turn, and we have it set to 90. The reason being is because of how the player turns. We have it set to 90 and 180, 360, and so on and so forth. Only 4 directions, so we have it set to 90 for that. I have a public void called the turn integer, and it just sets the rotation and plus the angle. So it takes the rotation of my actor, the player, and it helps the projectile set a rotation to where the actor is facing. Yep, and the move public void, I just have it set to walking speed. Alright, double angle. So this is just some simple math to get the x and y. So the get x and get y is also for the player, looking for that player, and then it adds a cosine of angle in the distance. Yeah, I'm a little tired right now. I won't explain too much about it. Let's see, I've basically shown the whole bulk of my game right there, those 3 lines. I think that's all I need to show for now. Oh wait, actually no. Never mind, because we've got the Lich class, of course, which is the boss. Here we go, this should be fun. So, yeah, we've got GIF images. They're only 2-frame GIF images since I didn't want to take up too much memory. And here's some important stuff. So we have the world. This is a method to get the world. And then below it, I decided to add the undead. So these are the 4 undeads that randomly spawn. How that works is we do an if statement. If greenfoot.getRandomNumber is 1,000, then the random number is 1,000, but you only have a 1 in 1,000, so yeah, so essentially this is just it's kind of a probability if you look at it that way. So this would be a 1 in 20 chance, but I have it set to 1 in 1,000. I bet I'll change it to 500, just so it's a little more challenging, even though the game's already difficult for me. I use a lot of random number things here. So the Lich attack is basically like what I just discussed with the projectile and attack physics. We actually have a method here called the private void Lich attack, and it's basically Lich attack is another name for projectile in our case. I made another separate code for him, and we also have a WAV file to play the sound when he chucks his deadly spheres around. So, yeah, that does that. Oh yeah, if touching projectile. So the projectile is your magic attack as the player. That's what we just have up here. What this does is it de-increments the duration if it's touched, so that's the health. And it's very... I'll explain how the duration would really work in this case, because if the player's closer to a monster, it actually does more damage. And the reason why is because the duration of the projectile is longer. But if you're further away, it's less, so it takes less damage. It's probably how most things work. And yes, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm turning into a potato. I've been programming this game for 3 days now. Well, this part of the program I've been doing for 3 days with the player mainly and the boss. We can look into some of our monsters here. The monsters aren't too crazy because they're the low class monsters. And the wolf is probably the weakest one, but one of the fastest. Yeah, it only has... I bet its duration's only set to 1 right now. Yes, it is. Now, as for Undead Mob, I think the duration's set to 2. Yeah, because there's a chance that the skeleton can survive a shot from you. But that's at, like, far range distance from the player. So those guys have a better chance. The golems are just, they're mobs that get annoying in front of the player, essentially, is what the golems are. Oh, you know what I almost forgot? I have to explain how I made the monster moving. Instead of using randomness, I used patterns, of course. And it was quite simple. I just used a class called move, and it can be empty, but I only have code to change the size of the move class because I started with a 1x1 pixel picture, and then you can change its size. And I have a 1x1 invisible image, and essentially whenever the monsters touch it, right here, then they set a rotation according to what the move method is, essentially. So that makes monsters turn around and all that good stuff. And also, I figured out a cool way on how to even randomize monster movement using this easy code. Essentially what you would do is for each of these move classes, you would do something called greenfoot.getRandomNumber, like I shown before with the glitch here. Let me go ahead and highlight it. This. So you can use this, and you can set the probability to 50-50, so you can have it turn right or left, for example. And you can set it up in a grid. I plan doing that for the next boss, so it's more random and you'll never know how to really understand its movement patterns. So that should be fantastic. I think I've rambled on for far too long. I'm going to go ahead and just sign off now, and you guys have a good day.